Hello everyone, I am Shelby and welcome to my channel Shimmer, and today we are going to be making clay chocolate chip cookies. Now I am showing you that I pre-baked some clay, it's brown, and I cut it all up and I added that to some white polymer clay. Now I have different sizes of earring, what are they called, backing, no, I can't think of the name, I'll put it in the video. But I got different sizes like small, medium, and slightly large. I know they have bigger sizes than that, so it's a large to me right now. And I'm showing you like the different backings I had for it. And I'm just simply going to go in and work with my clay. I'm going to open up the bag for the earring. Oh, they're called studs. Earring studs. And I'm going to open up the studs and look how tiny these ones are. I decided to make super itty bitty cookie earrings because I thought little tiny ones would be adorable. I mean, look how cute these are. Can you see how little those are? So I'm going to make cookies roughly the same size as them. And I'm just going to work my clay. I'm checking the size to see if it'll fit or not. And I made a couple around the studs and 10 pairs of flat ones, regular cookies, not on the stud. I was trying to see which one will be more durable and long lasting and which one would work better. So I was trying to do that, and later on I like fixed the back and stuff, which at first I didn't know how I wanted to do this idea. So I was like, okay, maybe a little bigger, maybe a little smaller. And it took some tweaking. I did some studies. I know the studs weren't going to melt, but I didn't know if the clay would want to stay on the stud. So I'm just fiddling with it because I haven't tried this before, and I added some more little chocolate chips to it and the clay, because as I add more clay, I have to add more chocolate bits of the brown clay into it and break them up. So I'm just going to fiddle with it for a minute to see how I like it. I want the back smooth, but yet I want a round cookie that, so I put it on the table and I'm messing with it. And I'm just trying to figure out the right shape and trying to get it to stand at least a bit tall. I want some texture on the back because, it's a cookie. Cookies need texture on the back. Now with my itty bitty flat cookies, I found out that you cannot take those off of the surface of your table because, I don't know what it is, they're too little. So if you go to pick them up, it ruins them. So I end up just not doing the back. I mean, if I want to later on, I will paint them or something because it did not work. Like, all of it just got tore up. The itty bitty cookies just got tore up, and I have no idea why it did this. Oh, it was a pain. But I just decided to leave them and bake them the way they were. Yep. Now that I think about it, I don't think there was any other way other than that. Unless you guys know something else that I should have done. But I started making chocolate chip earring cookies because I want to put them in my Etsy shop. I am currently working on getting my shop with actual items, physical items put in it. So I've been working on making different varieties of chocolate chip cookies and getting the jewelry, stuff that I need to make them. I am also currently working on getting a laser label printer for shipping, and then I need to get some resin because I want some of the cookies to be more durable so they last longer, and also because I would like, someone like me takes their earrings into the shower and you can forget about them. So that also will help keep them from being ruined. I also need to get packing, like mailers and stuff. But I'll probably do like little boxes maybe. I'm not really sure how I'm going to go about that. But I am using chalk pastels to dust these cookies, which I used my bigger fluffy brush to just slap some color down on them. Also, it helps press them back down to the parchment paper. That's it. Parchment paper I have down. And I was just doing it a pair at a time, and then I realized, oh, I should probably, do them all at once so they're more cohesive. But I mean, they all look the exact same anyway at the very end. They're all handmade, so they're a little bit different. But I looked at them all and I was just like doing them up at the same time in the end. So actually, this is me speeding up the video for you. It literally takes me a while to add the chalks to it. And I found that if you take the tinfoil ball, that's what I use for texture, and you do that after you aren't able to add anymore, then you can add more because, the texture of it makes it easier for you to apply more because more clay is there. Anyway, so I find it absolutely satisfying to do the chalk and adding the chocolate chips to it. Like, I love that part. Now, I don't know about you, but I love that part. It's like therapeutic for me. So I could also watch this for hours because it's a lot of fun. Now, if you guys want to make these, you can. It's pretty easy. It's just, polymer clay with chalk pastels and earring studs. And you can seal them, which I suggest you seal them with something. I actually have to go and seal mine because I found out that if you don't, some of the pieces of the chocolate chips can come out. So you need them to be sealed somehow in order to keep your chocolate chips in. Also, these are not water resistant. So don't think you can get in the shower with these. They're not like a real pair of earrings. Now, see, I added the chocolate chips. I am texturing it. And of course, your chocolate chips can give you issues with this. But I am just simply going around the edges to add black. I actually use a little bit of yellow, a little bit of orange, I know this sounds weird, a little bit of red, because it gives it more of a realistic cookie look. Light brown, and then I actually add a bit of black to the edging of the cookie like it's been cooked. And you know how many times someone has asked me if I made cookies? Because, they look so real and they go to eat them. I'm like, don't eat those. They're clay, literally clay. So I made these miniature ones and I had to tell them, I'm like, I'm not making actual cookies. I am making earrings. So I feel like, they look like cookies, but in their defense, I lit a candle that smelled like I was baking. It was like a vanilla candle. So I did these cookies and I put them on the stud, which I learned that this was not a very good technique because later on I had to reapply the chalk and refix them and tweak them. But the good thing is that if they're on the stud, you can actually pick up the chocolate chips off your workspace without handling them as much. So you can see I'm texturing these. I am reapplying some of the chalk pastel to them. I'm also making sure the backs of these are smooth. See if you see me take it away. I am actually inspecting the back of them to make sure they're smooth. And once I am satisfied, the little round tin, it actually goes in our air fryer. But we never use it, so I use it. And I put the parchment paper in there. Well, this is when I find out the hard way that you can't exactly pick these up. I was having issues with them going on the studs, But I ended up having so many issues with these that I ended up just taking the parchment paper out of the tin that I used to bake them in and just put it on my work surface and then transfer it back into there because it ruined them. All my hard work was ruined, which you'll see that. But look, oh, the edges are so nice and they're so cute. And the chocolate chips, oh my gosh, I want a chocolate chip cookie. I don't know if it makes you hungry for a chocolate chip cookie. But whenever I started to notice that some of the chocolate chips don't show like in the cookie, you know how cookies get chocolate chips in them, yeah, that look. Then I start adding more to my white clay ball that I use for the cookies. Which you can take scissors to the clay chunks, but I find it easier to like use a pair of pliers to crush them up more. Because if I do it with my fingers, I get like the gunk under my nails. You could probably see on there that my nails have like clay bits under them. They look dirty, but I swear they're not. It's just from clay. But I picked them up and I realized that didn't work. So let me try a different way to do this. This is a second error for me. I was like, okay, well, let me squish them. Oh, I picked it up. Well, that didn't work. So I tried to squish it back out. I don't know what I was thinking whenever I was like, I'll just squish it back. No. It doesn't work that way. So here I am getting this. I'm trying to figure out, okay, I'll do it this way. Learn from my mistakes. If you're doing miniature cookies, make sure it is on the parchment paper that you're going to bake with them on. Even though the backs aren't done, I'll just paint the backs later brown. You don't have to, but, I don't want a naked back of the cookies. And, someone's seeing that and be like, oh. But, I mean, it probably wouldn't matter, but it matters to me. Because my OCD. It matters to me because, like, I don't want to see the white of the cookie. That makes sense. On the back, because then it looks like clay and not a cookie. So, I'm going to do the backs. I might do some where there's none on the back. But, whatever. Whatever works at the time being. Times someone has asked me if I made cookies. Because, like, they look so real and they go to eat them. I'm like, don't eat those. They're clay. Literally clay. So I made these miniature ones and I had to tell them, I'm like, I'm not making actual cookies. I am making earrings. So I feel like, they look like cookies. But in their defense, I lit a candle that smelled like I was baking. It was like a vanilla candle. So I did these cookies and I put them on the stud, which I learned that this was not a very good technique because later on I had to reapply the chalk and refix them and tweak them. But the good thing is that if they're on the stud, you can actually pick up the chocolate chips off your workspace without handling them as much. So you can see I'm texturing these. I am reapplying some of the chalk pastel to them. I'm also making sure the backs of these are smooth. See if you see me take it away. I am actually like inspecting the back of them to make sure they're smooth. And once I am satisfied, the little round tin, it actually goes in our air fryer, but we never use it, so I use it. And I put the parchment paper in there. Well, this is when I find out the hard way that you can't exactly pick these up. Like, I was having issues with them going on the studs, but I ended up having so many issues with these that I ended up just taking the parchment paper out of the tin that I used to bake them in. And so I'm going to let you watch this for a minute. So I did end up super gluing the back of the earring, the flat ones, to the stud, and it worked really good, and I Mod Podged them as well. So I think UV resin would work very well. And I also did the earrings with the cookie around them. They worked very well. I also super glued the back of those, and I tested out a pair of them, and they work really well. Tried pulling one of the flat ones off the stud, and it's very durable, so that's not going to go anywhere anytime soon if you were worried about that. So this was the whole process where I'm just adding chocolate chips. I'm trying to keep it in the frame, but like the parchment moves. But it's pretty simple to like do. You just have to tweak the technique of how you go about doing it. So I hope this helped you to make your own and inspired you to make your own, because they're pretty easy. You just need to, get the clay and materials. It's pretty simple and you can make them and sell them. So I hope you guys enjoy this video, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!